Istvan. For those of you who listen to Istvan's Imaginary Podcast, on the first of the gear shows that I did, I promised that I was going to do my own pedal board video, and that's what we're doing today. So before I start, I love watching videos where people kind of run down their gear. So I'm encouraging everybody to comment and leave videos of their own, of stuff that they're using. And again, my stuff is in no way completed. A lot of my decisions are based on cost, on what I've had laying around and stuff like that. So I welcome suggestions. But let's start. First thing I use is my Martin acoustic. That's my main guitar. And I have two pedal boards that I split up for different types of performances. We'll go through the first one, obviously. This one is just kind of my standard sound. So with that, if you can hear it, I'm just playing through my little PA. This is without any effect at all. So the first pedal that I go through is my Electro Harmonix black finger compression, and you can hear how much more present it is immediately. But there was still a boomy quality to it. The thing that I'm still trying to get is sort of like a good, clear acoustic sound, but something that also has like some low end to it. So I tried a couple of different like EQs and DIs and stuff like that, and like an LR Bags, different things like that, and then I ended up with this really inexpensive Behringer ADI 21, and I think it does a decent job. So now, again, without, I think it takes some of that, you know, potential feedback out of it, and just gives you sort of that low end still, which is super important when you're the only instrument playing. So those are my first two pedals, the two most important ones really, that kind of shapes the initial sound of the guitar. Now something that I did wrong, and it's just out of necessity, is I took the reverb pedal that I use, my Electro Harmonix Holy Grail, nice one because it's the smaller nano version. I have it set for spring reverb. It sounds nice. All on its own. But I think as most people, use, like they put their reverbs at the end of the chain, which I had to do this out of necessity because, again, I split my pedal board and I take this with me, and it's really important. So I would like to get another one of these pedals and have two. Now sometimes I'll use this. This is one of those pedals that was laying around, something I've become aware of you know, pedals that can kind of like color your sound in kind of a super digital way. This pedal does this, but I use it for like a crazy slapback effect for kid shows. And in those situations when everything is kind of crazy on its own, you can get away with it. And it kind of just like, it really hits you in the face. And I don't mind it so much in those situations, but I don't really use it for much else. The last pedal on this board that I use is the Boss TU2. And I find it to be kind of like a little bit temperamental of a pedal. If you're playing outside, it's a little difficult to see. Sometimes you can't see the LED, but it does serve as a mute pedal, which is nice. No one wants to hear you tuning. And then I use like a headstock tuner, so I have two, so there's no real issue with like not being able to see it. I always have something to back it up. But that is the first pedal board. So from there we move over to the second one, which has more of the, you know, sort of like the sound shaping things. The first pedal I go through is a Rat. And obviously, traditionally, like acoustic guitar, you don't normally go through that, but I do. And I just like a Rat pedal for when I used to play electrically, and I like this pedal just for its distorted sound, but also on the acoustic guitar it gives it kind of a weird sound that I like. And I just find it like a really great pedal. It's one maybe I tried the most was like overdrive pedals, and a lot of them just are really, don't even come close really, I don't think. Now you can hear the noise that comes along with it. So I saw an Yngwie video on YouTube where he was talking about this Boss NS2 noise suppression pedal. So through that video I went out and tried one, and I really do like it because, as you can hear, I mean, it all but eliminates that the white noise and feedback that you're going to get from something. And with this, much like the compression pedal, with a little dialing in, you still get like, you know, phrasing that you're looking for, and sustain from your guitar. If you have like a super crazy compression pedal, it will just kill that. Everything will sound the same dynamic level, which is not what you want. So this noise suppression pedal, I'm sure there are others, but again, with the Boss pedals, they don't take up a ton of space. They're easy to get. You can try them, which is a big part of why I use something. All right, so from there, this is one of the pedals I had kind of lying around. It's an Mxr Phase 90. I don't use it all that often, but here and there, it's a fun pedal to use. I like it when I'm not using any distortion. Like a delay is always fun. Just has kind of a psychedelic-y sound, which is fun to use, cool to use. When you're looping, that's the main thing that I'm looking for, is other types of sounds that aren't guitar sounds, so they can work with each other but also stand out. From there, I have the Super Shifter. Again, this is an attempt to do something that creates something that's not a traditional guitar sound. I have it just on a standard setting, which is jumping it up. And again, I use that for looping. That pedal can also be used to drop down. You can manually do it with your foot. And that's a big part of why I choose things, is when a pedal has at least some versatility, because when you're filling up a pedal board, you want a pedal at least, you know, I do, to do a couple of things, although, you know, you don't want a pedal to try too hard to be too many things. From there I have the Super Octave. Again, when you're playing on your own, it's a really kind of nice pedal to use when you're building loops and stuff like that. The reason I chose this one is because it's, you know, polyphonic supposedly. And I was hoping to use it with full chords. I don't really use it for that so much, but you can kind of get away with you know, you can still hear all of the notes. It kind of articulates things pretty well. I'm going to squeeze over here, and I'm going to jump up to the top. This is the section that I'm going to switch out. I'd like to get, I think, like a ring modulator pedal. So I just threw these pedals on here because I had them. This again too is where I pulled the reverb pedal from. I have a boost on here, which I don't really use all that often. The boost will just give you, you know, a little added volume, obviously. I use the Boss for that more than anything else, because with this Boss pedal, in your heel position, the reason I liked it is because you can set a minimum volume. So again, when you're looping a lot, it's important to kind of know where your volume is. And then from there I can go higher. So, and then back to my heel position, and I know that that's my, you know, whatever ground zero volume. Again, I have a super chorus here that I don't use all that often. I have it set super. It's a very 80s-y sound, very Cocteau Twins sounding, which I do like, but again, I don't use it all that often. And again, I'd like to get something like that, ring modulator, something like that, that kind of shapes your sounds a bit more. I have the ubiquitous Line 6 DL4 because, again, this one at least has 3 presets to use, which I like. It takes up so much space. I fried a pedal because it also is like whatever, alternating current instead of direct current. But with it and the Suppression pedal, you can do kind of weirder things, which is fun. And then standard delays too. So it's a good pedal. I like it. There's a lot you can do. It has a looper in it that I don't use. because again, I'm using it basically for the delays and stuff like that. What I did get is this Digitech Jamman. Not crazy about the name, but I bought this pedal without even trying it based on its design alone. I had a Boss one, and it only had, I know they have a new one now, and there are a number of different, I think, looper pedals. If I were to design a pedal, I'd love to design a looper pedal myself. But this one had this tiered setup, and you can scroll to your presets, which is really nice. On the Boss, you had to, at least the one that I had, you had to actually stoop over. It only had 11. I think you had like 13 or 16 minutes of time or something like that. With this one, you have, I think, like after you add memory, 200 presets in hours worth of time, which is, I mean, pretty great. The thing I don't like about this pedal is the fade is really, really rapid, but then takes forever to finally just stop. But this pedal, it has a superior sound than the Boss pedal, and I like it, again, because it doesn't take up a ton of space. So that's about it. Again, I'd like to hear what other people are using, if they would make any suggestions based on what they've seen me using. I actually invite a few people over who are more knowledgeable than myself to give me their suggestions. But if you have videos of your own stuff, please post them. I'd love to see them, and I know that the people who are watching this stuff would like to as well. So until then, I'm Ishan. Thanks for watching.